Hotep Senu Hena Senut Iti Ren I Shakandugu Kemet. I hope there's no denial. You are happy like the Nile. The title of this live stream is PhD Burying Riparianites. Dr. Obadele Kambon labels the pseudo-linguist as dumbass and sellout. Let me check the sound quality. On my end, the sound is okay. Let me get the fair use disclaimer out of the way, just in case, you never know. Copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. I'm going to play an excerpt. It's going to be less than 5 minutes long. The full video is available on YouTube. The YouTube account is called I Never Knew TV, and you have the link in the description. It is called African Origins of Martial Arts, Myths about Ancient Pyramids, Kemet, UFOs, and the Sacred. Now, just so you can have a look, this is the full video, but like I said, I'm only going to play a 5-minute excerpt. So here you do have the name of the YouTube account. They have 665,000 subscribers, so 500,000 already. And it was posted on January 26th of this year, 2025. So this is recent. This video already has 2,000 likes, okay? Some of you may have heard, you know what karma is? You know what karma is? Remember a dude, now you notice for the record that the riparianites are on holiday again, right? I mean, not holiday, on hiatus, and it's been a minute, right? Don't start, no won't be none, right? But listen to the homie, the pseudo-linguist.
And I saw like something in the chat, like, you know, what's his name out in France. I want to, yeah, Shaka Ndugu Kim, right? Like this individual don't comprehend very well either. And when it comes to this linguistic thing, I never said that I wasn't a linguist. I'm a linguist by all intents and purposes and how that is defined.
So he claimed to be a linguist. He had the nerve to say that I don't comprehend well. Dang, a PhD, someone who holds a doctorate degree, labeled him as dumbest. And we're going to listen to that without any further ado. So you can see, if you're looking for the timestamp of the video, is minute 55 and 34 seconds.
The more I learn, I understand how I'm limited to certain access to information due to my limitation with the English language. And when you only can understand English language, you find yourself only reading English sources. And I think that's one of the biggest problems in the circulation of misinformation about Egypt.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a proverb that says, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed is king. And because of that limitation, this has brought the rise of a lot of, I wouldn't even call it pseudo scholarship. That's too much of an accolade. So
now, Dr. Obadele Kambon said that it will be too much of an accolade to call it pseudo. So in his stance, it's even below pseudo. It's even worse than pseudo.
On YouTube, you find any person who may know one word more than anyone else, and then they'll put themselves up like I'm the expert of it. And because they know that they're in the land of, like, they'll never go to a conference of linguists. They'll never, they're just doing folk etymology. Let's say this word looks like that word. I'm done. No, that you haven't even started. Like literally.
Remember fly?
That's the beginning of your research question, not the end of your analysis of this word looks like that word. But you find these people who actually gain a following, and there's a proverb that says, to one who does not know, a small garden is a forest.
I like that saying. It's the first time that I heard it today. To one who does not know, a garden looks like a forest.
And they're actually making a living. They're getting views and subscribers, and literally they're getting paid by these exact same Amu we're talking about, the descendants, to spread.
Now, for those who don't know, Amu is a Medu-Neter, or ancient Egyptian term to describe what it is translated as Asiatics, basically. Amu.
Nothing but information, and the more ludicrous the misinformation is, especially when they are just saying the.
Well, as a matter of fact, I said Asiatics, but you will hear Dr. Obadele Kambon. Actually, he says Eurasians, because we're used to say Asia and Europe, but like he said, it's the same landmass, so it is Eurasia. It's not supposed to be two different continents, but hey. Now, one good news, Dr. Obadele Kambon is working on his book. The title may be, and I'm paraphrasing, Construction of Black Civilization. Maybe Reconstruction of Black Civilization, but he stated the title, but we'll see once the book is released. But he's working on it, right? So Amu will be translated by Dr. Obadele Kambon as Eurasian.
Exact same thing as these so-called white Egyptologist scholars, you understand? But literally they know this. They know that I know one word, I know the word cognate, and I know that if you haven't heard the word cognate before, and I'm the one who's going to introduce you to the word cognate, then you're going to think I'm an expert on what cognates are, and literally the person has absolutely no idea what they're talking about whatsoever. Like, I actually had one person who I had a conversation with. And
for those who don't know, I will play that conversation after the excerpt.
he's, presenting himself like, oh, I understand historical linguistics. Now, the point of historical linguistics, the objective of it is you want to reconstruct various aspects of a language because that language is no longer spoken. There are no more native speakers around where you can go and hear what it sounds like. So based on written forms, based on, daughter languages, you're trying to interpret what that mother language may have sounded like 2,000 years ago because there are no more speakers of that language as it was at that point in time, right? But this person said to me, oh, you didn't reconstruct Yoruba. You should have reconstructed Yoruba. When you did your thesis, you didn't reconstruct Yoruba. And I was sitting there, I was like dumbfounded. I was like, this has to be the dumbest person I've ever had a full conversation with in my entire life.
This had to be the dumbest person he ever had a conversation with in his entire life. Dumbest person in his entire life. Karma hits hard, man.
Because Yoruba is a living language. You can go out. Why would you reconstruct it? Like, I can literally go out with my phone, put on the voice recorder, and I can record in field research 1,000 people, 40 million people who are speaking Yoruba exactly as it's spoken right now. So here's somebody who is putting himself out as, oh, I'm a historical linguistics. I'm a historical linguist. I know historical linguistics. When this person doesn't even know the point of historical linguistics, you're literally doing it for no other purpose than I want to find out what it may have been like, and I'm using these methods in order to find out what that language may have been like. But imagine someone saying, oh, well, you need to reconstruct New Jersey English. Well, I can just go to New Jersey and find out exactly what it sounds like. But this is what's going on. This is King Cyclops in the land of the blind. The one-eyed is king, and they're literally just pimping. And I find that
they're literally just pimping. So if he is the pseudo-linguist, he is the pimp, then who are the HOEs? Who are the workers?
A lot of that, they're really getting over on the fact that there's misinformation and the fact that they're on white platforms where, white people, if you start saying, oh, Kemet is black, oh, let's shut that down. But if you say, oh, Kemet doesn't mean black, all right, let's give that guy more views. Let's boost that up. Let's give him more subscribers. And, this is literally something like somebody who's being paid off, like Du Bois was paid off, by Firestone and so forth to, scuttle the interests of Nana Marcus Garvey in Liberia. This is somebody who's like the equivalent of, the FBI agents who were tasked for killing Nana Fred Hampton. These are
equivalent of FBI agents.
Are literally the worst of the worst sellouts.
Literally the worst of the worst sellouts. He didn't just say sellouts. He didn't just say worst sellouts. He said literally the worst of the worst sellouts.
And again, they know that there's nobody who's going to catch them on it because they're only going to be in places and spaces where, imagine somebody who's that dumb, but you're in a place where everybody is dumber.
So the riparianites platform, you have people who are dumb with people who are even dumber. They know who they are.
No, let's not even say dumber. They're more ignorant. They don't know to the point where they can even catch that person.
Ill-informed.
Ill-informed. That's a much better, less value judgment. They're ill-informed. We'll keep it at that level.
So you've heard it. This is Dr. Obadele Kambon. Now, for those who may wonder, but who is that pseudo-linguist that he was talking about? Or what's this conversation? Well, let's hear it.
Allah, and this is where I would disagree with Brother Shaka, is actually in the Egyptian text. The god Allah is an indigenous African god. Then when you do a linguistic analysis, you understand that the Hebrew language is cognate with the Yoruba language. Between the law in linguistics and the law, for example, physics, is that with a law.
Are you a physicist? Do you study physics, for example?
I do study physics and I study science. And so
Have you studied linguistics formally?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Not only that, but he hasn't done a reconstruction for Middle Egyptian.
I understand.
And I'm saying that is an incorrect and it's not a very good order of operations. So you're going to.
I don't see a reconstruction of Yoruba in your work or Akan.
How would I reconstruct Yoruba and it's spoken right now? How does that make any sense to you?
Because that's my point.
It's spoken right now. And what I did is I used IPA because Yoruba has its own orthographic system.
It's a convention for sounds. These are all symbols. That's the whole point of writing. They're just symbols to represent sounds. We understand that. The issue is here is that it's not attested in terms of a living.
So this is what I'm hearing as a lack of understanding. What you just said, you said I didn't reconstruct Yoruba. I wouldn't need to reconstruct.
Yeah,
I wouldn't need to reconstruct Akan. He doesn't need to reconstruct Somali. He also doesn't need to reconstruct Hausa. But what he does need to reconstruct is the one that I'm saying that he did not reconstruct.
Here's the question.
Please, just hold on 1 second because.
I understand. Believe me, I understand what you're saying. I'm asking you this.
Then let me make this last point, please. Just let me make this last point. So you're saying that I didn't reconstruct a language that is attested right now. You don't reconstruct languages that are attested right now. You write them down.
So you've heard it. Now beware, be careful. Don't fake the funk. We had a fair bit of people who came publicly and lied about their credentials and made weird statements, and for a while, they fooled a few people. But ultimately, some people, what do they say? The internet don't sleep, or the internet don't forget, something to that effect, right? I think it's maybe in French that they say it. Internet n'oublie pas, or forgot exactly. But that was just for the record. Now, if somebody wants to say something, you have the link to get on the panel. I'll wait for a couple of minutes. I haven't been going live in English. I did quite a fair bit of live streams in French, but still working, still doing my thing. So I hope everybody's doing well. Be careful. Don't fake the funk. Don't go publicly. Don't lie. Well, actually, we can advance. We can move forward. We can move on. In truth, it's the best thing. Too many people have been fake. Can you imagine a PhD that goes publicly and label you as the dumbest? It's not glorious, is it? But that's the get back. That's the karma. Now that same pseudo linguist was was talking very sideways about Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop. Make that make sense. And many other scholars. So karma came to collect. Stay safe, stay healthy. If I'm allowed to, by the nature, I will definitely holler back at you. I don't argue, I state facts. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. If you do not think right, you will not act right. If you know better, you will do better. Do it to do it to the hotel.
I appreciate the class. The Metanetric class is awesome. Thank you very much. You're a heck of a teacher, man. When we're in class, man, it's a lot of fun, and you have a lot of information to share, and you teach very, very well. And that's coming from someone who hadn't been in school for years, and taking for what you do, man, and for that time that we have is amazing. So, and thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Dua Sen, thank you very much. Well,
Yes,
brothers
sir.
and sisters, if anybody want to take some lecture classes, I have one of the most affordable fee. It's basically $10 an hour. So you have the email address here. Yes,
Get a lot of information for that hour. You really, really do get a lot of information. You get text for each class, man. You get transcripts so you can study in on your own time. Come back with questions, things like that. And just and if we need to slow it down, we'll slow it down, and He allowed me to ask as many questions as I need, and he's a really, really excellent teacher, man. Shout out to you, bro.
Fact that I have a reference, the stuff that you've given me, like the flashcards and everything, that I have, and I keep them, and they're mine. I can go over them whenever. And then to look at the meta nature and to know that even still I can pick out, a good bit of them now and get a context of what's being said, even if I don't know some of the glyphs or whatever, that I've come a long way. I never would have thought I would ever learn the meta nature. I never knew I would find out it was named that's what it was called. I would have been going around, semi-informed, semi-ignorant, calling it hieroglyphics still. And then also, people should support if they don't want to take the classes, maybe they're busier than I am, but I mean, just support it. Like you said, just make donations when they come on, and the whole fact that you've done so much research into like the origins of things.
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving meta nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first meta nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other meta nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the meta nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the meta nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Nature classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.